Hey guys, Dr. Sean here with the Health and Wealth Optimization Podcast. This time I'm on actually National Guard duty, and I wanted to do a sharing a short video about one of the most important biomarkers that I like to talk about and I like to teach about because it's something that I've learned by doing research inside the body. What is associated with health, optimized health, and what is associated with chronic disease, and what causes chronic disease and associated with it is an accumulation of visceral fat. So you may not be aware of visceral fat that you have inside you. Chances are that you aren't, and you probably aren't even aware it inside of other people directly. But I'm going to try to demonstrate in this video why you actually do have some awareness for it. So typically visceral fat will cause a pendulous abdomen. So a lot of people have they might look heavy, they have this big large girth around them, but visceral fat does something different than subcutaneous fat. So visceral fat will kill you. Yeah, kill you. Heart attacks and strokes. And visceral fat will destroy the quality of your life, causing your joints to fall apart, causing your body to fall apart. I call it the ugly factor. I mean, it will accumulate inside your abdomen and make you less attractive, less effective in your job, and make you more stupid, less intelligent, less articulate. It will interfere with your ability to do a variety of different things, whatever you're involved with. And its elimination will improve your appearance and improve your performance. So let's just talk a little bit about how that visceral fat manifests and why it's different than subcutaneous fat. So you may have this big abdomen around you, but when you lay down on the ground, you can tell whether you got visceral fat or subcutaneous fat by the characteristic of visceral fat. It's so gelatinous, meaning it has a density in your abdomen that causes it to protrude up in the air like a mountain. So this is what it looks like. If I fast forward, after going off my nice lifestyle and departing from how I eat to start eating processed foods, sweet things, processed carbohydrates, bread, pasta, muffins, candies, cookies, cakes, beer, rice, ice cream, and it's going to cause an accumulation of visceral fat in my abdomen that looks like this. Rapid development, okay? So that's what it looks like. Fast forward, Dr. Sean goes crazy off on the deep end. Now, if you lay down and you do have an abdomen that sticks up like this, like a mountain, that's visceral fat. You can eliminate those things: bread, pasta, rice, cookies, cakes, muffins, pizza, ice cream, sweet things, soda, beer, and your abdomen will start looking like this. Especially as you eliminate those things and you adopt a ketogenic lifestyle, and especially if you go carnivore, which is zero carbohydrates, you'll really rapidly get there and get faster benefits in a shorter period of time. So if you are big when you stand up and when you lay down, it doesn't stick up, it rolls to the side, that's subcutaneous fat. That's not associated with as much with chronic disease or lethal forms of disease. It's not a good thing because you've eaten in excess of your metabolic needs, but make no difference about it. It's completely different metabolically and as far as pathogenicity of disease than visceral fat. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is visceral fat's influence in your appearance. So I shared with you, get this belly. So I just want to challenge this growing kind of phenomenon on the internet that women are starting to get attracted to the dad bod. And I think it's because we're just getting used to big girth. And it's almost the point that I'm not big. A lot of people think I'm scrawny because, I'm not big, I'm not fat, so I must be scrawny. Well, no, human beings, Homo sapiens, for most of our existence, we're very lean. We're a very efficient type package. So unfortunately, when you live in a country filled with a lot of heavyset people, that becomes the norm, and so kind of partially heading towards away from a lean body towards a heavy body, and you get this dad bod where you get this big kind of a gut, but it's not like like morbidly obese, the dad bod becomes kind of an accepted thing. Women are starting to like that, and that's dangerous. So we're really heading in the wrong direction. So what happens with the dad bod as you get that, and I have a hard time even kind of simulating the dad bod, you get this belly like that. It's really manifestation of disease accumulating inside you. Now, as that progresses and continues, that abdomen becomes bigger and bigger, and what happens is the visceral fat, also corresponding to visceral fat accumulating within your abdomen, is fat deep within your deposited intramuscularly within your muscular tissues. So now you get fat not only surrounding your viscera deep in your abdomen and your organs, but the fat is depositing now in your muscle, and then your muscles don't perform as well. And so you can't run, you can't sprint, you can't fight, you can't do basic biological survival traits, and you can't do things really well. So it really starts to interfere with your performance. But these tissues don't just go in your kind of muscles in your arms and legs. I want you to think about the going in all your muscles. How about your tongue? Yeah, so that fat starts accumulating in your tongue, and then we see in people that have sleep apnea, they can't control their tongues, they're snoring at nighttime. So recent studies in sleep apnea show the accumulation of fat within the tongue. But you're aware of this because you've heard it. I get clients that will consult with me, call me up on the telephone, and I can detect the intramuscular deposition of fat within their tongue and begin to form impressions clinically about people by the sound of their voice. So that deposition of fat is associated within the tongue and within the body with increasing aging, so it accelerates aging, and people sound older, but also they just start getting, even when they're younger, they start getting deposition of fat within their tongue, and as that abdomen starts getting bigger, they start having this thicker tongue, and you've all heard this, and so by the time that belly is sticking way out here, they're talking like a Bubba, and Bubbas all talk the same way, because Bubbas all have visceral fat, and they all got that intramuscular deposition of fat within their tongue. Isn't that remarkable? So we're getting this accumulation of fat within the tongue, fat within the abdomen. They all look the same, they talk the same, and yet they're not aware of it. And that's a shame. And I blame physicians for not warning about them. This dangerous, lethal, life-destroying presence of disease called visceral fat and now intramuscular fat within their tissues. So I hope this helps educate you about the realities of visceral fat, how you can lay down and check to see if you have it. And you can even measure it, begin to measure it. So if you lay down within, just lay down next to this door, you can measure your visceral fat and watch it disappear. Track it with a number. Don't track cholesterol. Forget that number. That does not help with optimizing your health. Forget cholesterol. But never forget about visceral fat. That's what you want to pay attention to. So lay down. When your stomach sticks up, take a ruler or board and have a piece of paper on the wall and mark where that is, where your belly is, okay? And track that number. You can later measure where that mark is on the door. You can measure it with a ruler, and you can quantify. So if you're sticking up like 18 inches, I once was measuring a nurse who had a stroke, and I had like a 12-inch ruler, because that's, I only have a few inches there, like 6 inches. Well, I had a ruler, and I realized I needed something more like a yardstick, because her visceral fat was sticking up that high. It was kind of embarrassing. I didn't have ready for that. So, you may need a yardstick. Chances are it's probably going to be more than 12 inches. So track that number and get excited about that reduction in that number. So my partner on the Health and Wealth Optimization podcast, Eric Jungles, talks about other numbers like growing bigger bank accounts and investment properties and strategies. I'm going to talk about getting excited about that number, that visceral fat going down. Okay, so you can measure that number and watch that number decline as you start eliminating visceral fat. And guess what? It's free. You don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to go through insurance companies to get authorization. You just got to lay down and track your visceral fat and watch that resolution of that space. Put your back flat against the floor. Don't want it curved up because that will add space. You're not measuring air. You want to measure your visceral fat. Put your back flat. Track that space, anterior, posterior. Put a ruler across to the wall or door. Piece of paper on it. Mark it. Track how high it is from the floor to that dot. That's your number for visceral fat. Watch it go down. How do you get it to go down? By going keto. Going on a keto diet, become ketogenic. I recommend that you go carnivore on the carnivore diet. Eliminate all carbohydrates. I went paleo, I got fantastically healthy. I went keto, I got more healthy. I went carnivore, I got even more healthy. It seems like the more eliminate carbohydrates, the healthier I've become. So I am a large proponent. I am now a carnivore diet proponent physician. So I recommend you give it a trial at least. I'm not saying you for the rest of your life you're never going to eat anything but meat, but I'd like you to give it a try and see how much benefit it provides you. So consider going carnivore, and then you must fast. You got to get a practice of fasting. So OMAD, 1 meal a day. Google it, find out about it. Slowly increase the amount of time you fast during the day from your last meal, from the day before, and increase that period to you're just basically eating 1 meal a day. And consider doing extended fasting, where I recommend my clients who I work with typically to fast about 48 hours every week, so 2 days out of the week, and every other week to adopt a 72-hour fast. And then do high-intensity exercise. So my favorite form of exercise of all is sprinting. So I recommend you sprint and not do chronic exercise, not do jogging, but sprint. And sprinting, mix it up. Everybody said, how often? How much should you sprint? It's like just sprint. Sprint sometimes short, sprint sometimes long. I don't recommend a really long sprint. Typically, about the most I will do is about 20, maybe 30 seconds. On very rare occasions, I'll hit 45 seconds. But it's maximum effort. And I think if you get past about 30 seconds, you're really not running the fastest you can anymore. It's something different. So, and mix it up. Maybe do 1 or 2 sprints a day. Maybe do 6. Maybe do 10. Maybe do none. But mix it up. Nature would bring variety. And it's okay to rest in between. I think when you rest in between, get yourself ready to do another high-intense exercise. Sometimes maybe not rest so much. Other times rest more. So variety. Nature favors variety. And then you can do some other things. Gym rings. I've done some videos on gym rings. Check them out. I think gym rings are a great way of becoming very functional. You don't want to just lift weights. Yeah, I don't. I admire people that have muscle. I think muscle is helpful. It's associated with longer life and improved quality of life. But you want to be functional, so you don't want to just be this heavy, bulky guy or woman that is a one-trick pony, just can lift a lot of weights. You want to be able to do amazing things with your body. Homo sapiens are amazing creatures, and when we optimize our health, we're able to do that. So gym rings are one of those things that allow you to be more functional and not just be strong, and I recommend them to my followers. And then parallel bars, and then consider lifting weights, heavy weights in a short period of time. That's a good thing to do. I think weightlifting does have a place. And then you want to do other things. I want you to get interested in, read about and get interested in optimizing certain things. Your microbiome, your mitochondria, your oxytocin, nitric oxide, and then practice stress hormetics. Google stress hormesis, HORMESIS. So it's basically doing hard things in a short period of time. Leveraging that which does not kill us makes us stronger, that kind of a principle. So going into hot environments like a sauna for a quantified period of time, and go into cold environments like cold showers and cold baths, and taking a dip in an ice cold lake. So these kind of things make you awesome. So I hope this short little video on visceral fat and how to measure it and the Bubba phenomena. I want to push back on, if you're somebody that you think the Bubba phenomena, the dad bod is good. I want you to realize that dad bod turns into the Bubba and it should be nobody should be liking how you sound when you got so much fat in your tongue that you talk like this. I mean, that is a heart attack waiting to happen, all sorts of badness happening. So for goodness sakes, work with that person to fast and get keto and go carnivore, and share these other tips I've shared with you on this video. Well, I hope you like this video. I hope you like our podcast. I'm really excited to be working with Eric, and we've got great plans for the future. COVID kind of set us back for a little bit, but we're coming back with a vengeance, and we look forward to getting great content out there to optimize your health and to optimize your wealth as well. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.